This is CTV News with Nafisa Karim.
The cougar's still there. And he's looking at us. Then he locked eyes on Chewy. And when they lock eyes, you could tell.
Caught on camera, a Sooke resident's run-in with a big cat and a warning about what to do if you find yourself in a similar situation.
If it was there for some memorabilia, that's not the way you go about doing it.
A bizarre break-in at a shuttered high school. What the thieves stole that has left officials wondering why. And Adam finds out the story behind a local stick earning international acclaim later on the Sawatsky sign-off. Good evening. Thanks for joining us. High winds and snowfall at higher elevations on Vancouver Island has prompted Avalanche Canada to elevate the avalanche danger rating. As CTV's Andy Garland explains, forecasters are urging people heading into the backcountry to be prepared.
Snowmobilers Matt and Alex are heading out to explore the backcountry around Mount Washington.
We're just going to check out some snowpack around the island.
Kind of putting around on roads, taking it safe, just checking out the conditions, really.
The two are experienced and always prepared if there was something to go wrong.
We got all the gear. Been doing it for about 25 years, so we know what we're doing.
You don't do this stuff if you don't know what you're doing.
And that's what Avalanche Canada likes to hear, especially when the danger rating for an avalanche has increased for the majority of Vancouver Island.
Currently, our avalanche danger rating in the alpine is high, at tree line it's high, and it's moderate below tree line.
Avalanche Canada is expecting another 30 to 50 centimeters to fall, with strong winds at high elevations for most of the day today, and will accumulate on top of a harder surface of snow called a melt-freeze crust.
We've got a sliding surface, and we throw in a bunch of wind, and we're going to build up significant storm slab avalanche problems.
A guide with Island Alpine Guides in Cumberland says being prepared with the right equipment, clothing, and a trip plan is paramount when you head out into the wilderness.
You add on to that when you're traveling into avalanche terrain, the standard equipment, which would be a avalanche transceiver, a shovel, and a probe.
And if you're not familiar with avalanche terrain and what to look for, it's best to take an introductory course.
They will give you the tools to know how to stay out of avalanche terrain when the hazard is elevated. If you don't have that knowledge, then yeah, maybe you want to stay out of the backcountry during a high hazard rating.
Avalanche Canada expects the danger rating to decrease to considerable or even moderate in several days. But to check avalanche.ca for updates. Andy Garland, CTV News, Comox Valley.
And a little blast of winter on the Malahat this morning, prompting a weather warning from Environment and Climate Change Canada. Snow accumulating through the early morning hours, but the roads were mostly clear by the time daylight hit. Some slippery sections remained. By noon, though, much of the snow had melted, leaving just scuffs of it on the side of the road. Police are on the scene of a suspicious death in Saanich near the Home Depot on Shelburne Street. Police responded to a home on Blair Avenue, not far from the University of Victoria. The Vancouver Island Integrated Major Crime Unit is taking over the investigation. Officers are expected to remain in the area while investigators process the scene. One person is currently in custody, and police say there is no risk to the public. Anyone with information is asked to contact police. A photographer in Sooke is sharing the moment he and his dog came face-to-face with a cougar in their front yard. It comes after a woman in Mill Bay issued a warning because her cat was killed by a cougar just over a week ago. As CTV's Anna McMillan shows us, the run-ins serve as a reminder of what to do when we encounter wildlife.
Well, it was 9 a.m. Chewy and I were going for his morning constitution.
When 20 steps out the door, they ran into a cougar.
And we got to about here, and the cougar was right by that rock right there.
Mark Rolifson first spotted the cougar in his home security footage, captured around 5 on Monday morning. 4 hours later, there it was again, sitting in his yard in Sooke, which backs onto the forest.
Right here. Then he locked eyes on Chewy, and when they lock eyes, you can tell. And he actually made one paw advance towards us, and I just said, okay,
stepped backwards, got Chewy back in the house.
That's when he grabbed his camera, capturing these photos from a distance as the cougar took off.
A cougar on film is like trying to get a ghost or an alien.
He's seen plenty of bears in the decade he's lived here, but never a cougar.
Then I took Chewy for a walk in the opposite direction. He does his business, come back, and the cougar was sitting up on the hill waiting for us. And he looked at me, and I gave him the eye back, and then he just took off and went away. But I think he wanted to eat Chewy.
This is the second run-in with a cougar on southern Vancouver Island in 9 days. In Mill Bay, a cougar killed a family's cat and prowled their property for hours afterwards.
Well, if you're inside, don't go outside. But, you know, if you are outside, back away slowly. Maintain eye contact is really important. Don't bend down, make yourself look big.
This wildlife educator recommends contacting the conservation office, which Rolifson did.
The more information that they have, the better. You know, an officer is unlikely to respond to just a simple sighting unless it is in, you know, a high populated area.
Rolifson was struck by the encounter and shared his photos on social media.
That's pretty special. Based on the amount of likes and this and that and comments, apparently a lot of people think so too.
Another close cougar encounter highlighting the shared space we live in. Anna McMillan, CTV News, Sooke.
A warning about this next story, as the images and details are disturbing. The Victoria Humane Society is nursing 2 emaciated dogs back to health after they were surrendered in critical condition. Henry and Bosch are now on the road to recovery, but it will be slow, complex, and extremely costly. The pair suffered prolonged hunger and neglect. The executive director for the society says it is the worst case she has ever seen.
When I saw him, I burst into tears, and I did not think he would make it. I was like, what are we doing here? Are we going to be able to save? Oh, sorry, I'll cry. Are we going to be able to save him? Because he was so bad, but he rallied. I mean, he's so sweet.
The society says they've had 3 cases lately where the owners are overwhelmed by serious mental health challenges, addiction, substance abuse, or financial hardship. It's encouraging anyone who knows someone in distress to also check that their animals are being properly cared for. North Cowichan Duncan RCMP are investigating a curious caper that transpired over the weekend. It's alleged that 5 men broke into the old Cowichan Secondary School, and what they stole has left the school district wondering, was the reward worth the crime? CTV's Brendan Strain explains.
Interesting, I guess, for me.
That's how Jeff Rowan, the assistant superintendent of the Cowichan School District, describes a break and enter that RCMP say took place in the old Cowichan Secondary School over the weekend.
Our alarms went off. There's a reported break-in at the old Cowichan Secondary School that's now closed at about 12:30 in the morning on January 3rd.
A footprint security officer quickly responded, entering the school and located 5 individuals appearing to be in their 20s in one of the school's hallways, snapping these photos of 3 of them.
They didn't appear to be in a rush to get out of the building.
The security officer then called police, and that's when the men decided to flee with their spoils in hand.
So these guys break in and they steal yearbooks.
It seems odd, yes.
Rowan isn't sure how many yearbooks were stolen. In February 2025, this 75-year-old secondary school was officially retired, as the new one was completed a few blocks away. At the time, the school district held an open house at the school. People were allowed to take memorabilia with them, things such as old yearbooks.
It was a really neat night.
Since then, most valuables have been removed from the school, and the building is now sitting virtually empty. In a twist, the site of the break-in is often filled with police officers as a temporary training site.
They provide us a little bit of security, keep a bit of a presence, and they were able to use the site as they need to.
North Cowichan RCMP are looking to identify these men and are investigating the crime as a break and enter.
Does anyone recognize these guys?
At this point, no. I haven't had any reports of anyone recognizing them yet.
The assistant superintendent is happy no serious damage was done and that nobody was hurt during the incident, but says regardless, a crime was committed.
If it was there for some memorabilia, that's not the way you go about doing it.
The school district plans to sell the property one day soon, which it expects will be redeveloped. Brendan Strain, CTV News, North Cowichan.
The holiday spirit propelled one local charity to a banner year for donations and visitors. Habitat for Humanity Victoria says over 21,000 people visited their gingerbread showcase at the Hotel Grand Pacific, raising over $117,000. It was the charity's 17th annual showcase and the third year at the hotel. The People's Choice went to Jeff Cram from the Old Town Bakery in Ladysmith. Money raised goes towards helping individuals and families build, repair, and finance homes. Still to come, Donald Trump revels in his triumph.
It was amazing, and think of it, nobody was killed, and on the other side, a lot of people were killed. Unfortunately, I say that, soldiers. Cubans, mostly Cubans.
As unease grips Venezuela and neighboring Colombia.
6 degrees in Victoria right now. We hit a high of 7 earlier in the day today. It's a little gusty as well. Sustained wind out of the south at around 20 kilometers per hour, but gusts for the last few hours have been up around 35, 40 kilometers per hour. Breezy and some more rain in the forecast for tomorrow. Those details after the break.
CTV weather brought to you by Expedia Cruises. Make the most of your next vacation by booking with those who've been there. Visit expediacruises.ca.
What makes West Shore Parks and Recreation a perfect place to play? It's our staff, working behind the scenes to keep the pool safe, kids engaged, and programs thriving. So apply today and join our team.
He is the master of the weather buffet. Josh, what are you serving up today for us?
Well, I mean, it was a little windy. The first half of the day was awfully wet. At the airport, no showers reported in the last little while, although we've been looking at the radar. There is still some rain in the Victoria area, and there's more on the way over the next couple of hours. 6 degrees, though, right now, 7 for a daytime high today, so that's pretty close to average. Not bad temperatures. We've got some snow, maybe a mixture of wet snow and rain for northern parts of the island overnight tonight, early tomorrow morning. You can see a few scattered showers pushing through overnight and then through the day tomorrow. Hit and miss showers as well. More organized rain is going to be from Tofino north towards Port Hardy. Port Renfrew area gets some steadier rain as well. And here's what we're expecting as far as rainfall totals. By tomorrow morning, most of this rain from Tofino north is going to be overnight and through tomorrow morning. Port Hardy gets about 10 to 15 millimeters worth of rain. Victoria, negligible amounts. Same for Port Alberni, Comox. In the afternoon, though, all of a sudden you pick up a good 10 to 15 millimeters in through those areas. And you can see around Port Renfrew that heavier rain potentially and upwards of maybe 20 to 30 millimeters by the end of the day in the north. Could even see some scattered thunderstorms in parts of the north tomorrow, mid to late morning. Further inland, it'll also be a rain-snow mix as opposed to just flat-out showers. Closer to the coast, it'll just be rain. Showers for Thursday, and then heavy, steady rain for Friday, Saturday, and again Sunday. We could be looking at Friday through Sunday, well in excess of 100 to 150 millimeters worth of rain over those 3 days. Highs of 4 for inland areas tomorrow. Scattered showers, maybe a few showers as well on Thursday. This heavier, steadier rain, though, will hold off until Friday, Saturday, Sunday. There's actually a fairly significant storm system that's going to blow through the course of the weekend and into early next week. Out on the west coast, periods of rain, high of 5 tomorrow. Some more rain on Thursday, although I think at times you'll see some sunny breaks. 10 degrees for daytime highs Friday, Saturday as the steadier, heavier rain begins over the weekend. Showers and 5 in Comox. As we said, most of that rain is going to be in the afternoon hours. We just showed you that on the precip tracker there. Scattered showers potentially for Thursday and then some steadier rain starting Friday, carrying right through the weekend. And I mean, it's early, but there could be a good 50 to 100 millimeters worth of rain in the Courtenay Comox areas Saturday and Sunday. The Nanaimo, chance of showers, especially in the morning tomorrow. High of 5 with a mix of sun and cloud in the afternoon. A few showers as well, potentially on Thursday. Better chance for some steadier rain, though, by the time we hit the weekend. And in Victoria, chance of showers overnight tonight and tomorrow morning. A little gusty once again, 20 gusting to 40 kilometers per hour, 7 degrees. Highs of 9, though, for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Showers potentially Thursday, Friday. Almost a guarantee for some heavier rain, though, Saturday and Sunday. CTV Weather is brought to you by Expedia Cruises for air, land, and sea vacations. So more wet stuff, but mild temperatures continuing as well, Nafisa.
All right, thanks, Josh. Well, BC's Premier is off to India to strengthen our province's trade relations with the country. Next week, David Eby, along with Ravi Kahlon, the Minister of Jobs and Economic Growth, will head to India to meet with leaders in major commerce centres. India is one of the fastest growing economies in the world, and BC is Canada's largest trading partner with the Asian country. Talks will focus on some of BC's biggest exports: critical minerals, clean energy, and forestry.
Our goals are clear. It'll be to diversify beyond the U.S., double our exports, and grow sectors like tech and life sciences. And India is an important part of that vision.
And the Premier responding to calls from the Alberta government to expedite new pipeline infrastructure following the American capture of Venezuela's president and their plans to take over that country's vast oil resources. Eby says Canada is better off building refineries.
We're talking about massive public investment into supporting Albertans in this fragile global time. We can't talk about supporting all Canadians with oil and gas products that are made right here at home while we transition. And so I hope that that's where some of the conversation goes following the uncertainty that comes from Venezuela.
Before building a new pipeline, Eby says the existing Trans Mountain pipeline to Burnaby is not at full capacity and could be expanded further within its current form. Now that Venezuela's dictator, Nicolas Maduro, has been captured and charged with drug trafficking, many are asking what's next for that country, as the U.S. president says he will run Venezuela. But it's unclear what the plan is. With more, here's CTV's Joy Malbon in Washington.
The U.S. president taking a victory lap at the renamed Trump Kennedy Center.
It was brilliant tactically.
Donald Trump reveling in the American military might that captured former Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro, now in a U.S. prison charged with narco-terrorism.
We had a lot of boots on the ground, but it was amazing. And think of it, nobody was killed, and on the other side, a lot of people were killed. Unfortunately, I say that, soldiers. Cubans, mostly Cubans.
Tensions are high in Caracas after gunfire erupted overnight. Armed military police now patrolling the streets. The U.S. president insists he's in charge and will run Venezuela and help rebuild its oil infrastructure. Maria Machado, the democratically elected opposition leader who's in hiding, vowed to return, praised Trump's actions.
What he has done, as I said, is historic. It's a huge step towards a democratic transition.
And yet the Trump administration isn't focused on that, supporting Maduro's hand-picked vice president as leader, saying the U.S. can work with her.
The initial hopes that the departure of Maduro might represent a change in this hated regime have been dashed, seemingly endorsed by the United States, a woman who's got significant amounts of blood on her hands.
Trump's national security strategy suggests America will exert more control. The State Department posting this with the words, "This is our hemisphere." The president warns Colombia could be next, that country beefing up troops on the Venezuelan border. And Greenland on edge after Trump's closest advisor said this.
For the United States to secure the Arctic region, to protect and defend NATO and NATO interests, obviously Greenland should be part of the United States.
Donald Trump's threats have rattled several countries as many question what comes next for the people of Venezuela and when or if there will be elections. Joy Malbon, CTV News, Washington.
Coming up, stick celebration. Adam shows us why a piece of wood in the Cowichan Valley is inspiring wonder around the world. Next on the Sawatsky Sign-Off. Adam finds out the story behind a local stick earning international attention on this Encore Sawatsky Sign-Off.
When Sean Anderson isn't inviting his dog Kai to fetch a stick, he enjoys spinning a staff or lunging with a lightsaber.
I'm a big fan of sticks and appreciator of sticks.
So, when his roommate, Marcus Barrick, invited him to see this stick he'd happened upon while hiking on Vancouver Island, Sean was stoked.
I was like, wow, you found a really good stick.
Another friend agreed and suggested that Marcus share his stick online.
Like the most majestic piece of driftwood I've ever seen.
And submit this video to the Instagram page, Official Stick Review.
Similar to Antiques Roadshow, so an Antiques Roadshow for sticks.
A co-creator, Boone Hogue, says Marcus's stick is one of more than 2,500 wonders in wood that he's showcased from more than 120 countries on 7 continents.
I hope it just gives kind of a sense of reverence and accomplishment to the stick.
And that, they thought, was that. Marcus left for a lengthy trip, while Sean stayed home with the stick.
You feel it, it's incredible. It has such a nice balanced weight to it. And then when you start to see the aesthetics, it's just perfect.
Sentiments, it turns out, that were shared by many of Stick Review's 3.8 million followers, who voted for Marcus's stick to beat out more than 100 others from around the world and be crowned Stick of the Year.
Congrats to Vancouver Island for taking home the gold on this one.
The top prize includes this tiny T-shirt for the stick to wear and this big belt for Marcus when he returns home.
And I'm the steward of the stick, so it's quite an honor.
While Sean is ensuring that Kai plays with any other stick but the world's best, Marcus is studying Buddhism around India and says that although his stick has the potential to be wielded as a weapon, is choosing for it to inspire more peaceful pursuits.
Yeah, I guess it should bring more presence and awareness to nature, you know.
He hopes the global attention encourages people to protect and appreciate BC forests and perhaps pause, no matter where you live, to realize the potential of a stick.
So something as mundane as a stick can really bring a lot of joy to people.
Adam Swatsky, CTV News, Duncan.
That is it for CTV News Vancouver Island. Thank you so much for joining us. Good night.